what you did, traditionally that we do, that 8th graders do the living stations. It has become a tradition. And I was a little nervous this year, but we were able to pull it off, and they do 2 performances.
Oh, great.
And this year we had a short day, so it was like, oh, I don't know if we're going to get it all done. But they did an excellent job, and so that was part of, they do it for the primary kids in the morning. The first thing, it kind of, after our prayer, we pray throughout the Lenten season. Sister prays over the internet. And internet. PA.
We know what you meant.
That's the one.
You know what
That's
you
the one.
mean.
So, but anyway, after our prayer, they went over, the little kids went over, and they did the first performance. And while they were doing that, the older kids had other activities that they were doing. This year we did hands. The K1-2, they did paint, and did handprints. And then what we incorporated in that was the hand washing to go along with feet washing. So that was all part of it, and how we are miracles and miracles to one another. And how do we demonstrate that? And by caring and sharing and that kind of a thing. So that's what they did. And the older kids also did hand washing. But theirs was after the Stations of the Cross, then they went back to relive Holy Thursday and to experience what did Jesus do. And like your teachers, they had the packets and everything was there for them, and we used scripture to help guide them through that. I think in the afternoon was when the older kids went over to the church for the stations. And it just was the day was extremely fast. And I was running like, one to the other. But I don't have to do anything in the classrooms. I work with the 8th graders, and that's primarily the job that I had. So getting them dressed, and at the end we closed with a praise dance at the resurrection, and that was just absolutely beautiful. We had 4 girls that danced, and then it was this one young man. I used 2 Jesuses for those performances, and the first Jesus, I think we go up to the 9th station, and then we switch. And so the resurrected Jesus, we have a room. That's what our church space is. It's a room. So all of the changing of scenes, because they're all still scenes, the students, the 8th graders, become the curtain. And each time they surround, they're the crowd and they're the curtains. And they change characters, and so everything has to be done below, the kids have to move everything in the lower, and they just stand shoulder to shoulder, and then they open up the curtain again. And
are they wearing like a black shirt or anything, or
they wear we dress in the traditional garb.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
so
all in uniform. Yeah, and then the movements are just excellent. How they move in and out, and one of the special things that we did this year with the living stations is we actually moved Jesus from the death to his burial space. Wow. And so it was a funeral procession that happened that they created, and then when they got to the back of the church, they created the curtain so Jesus can rise. Wow. And this one little girl, cutest thing, 1st grader, she was sitting there, and when Jesus came out, she said, it just made everything work.
Doesn't it?
All the work. She was so precious.
That's
but
beautiful.
She was just so excited, and they just did a wonderful job. And I will send that. I'll send it to you, but I just left the thing on the desk right now.
Carolyn, who teaches them the praise dance?
This year we had a young lady that came in from Rainey. They have a grant or something. And I asked our music teacher, because she works at Rainey. Everybody has double jobs.
Yeah.
And so I asked her about, if she had somebody or whatever. And so she brought this young lady in, and she said, and I said, well, what is she going to charge? I was nervous. And she said, no, we have a program, and it'll take care of it. So that's how we were able to do that. It was very, very nice.
And how long did you work with them before? What ahead? Like a month or 2 months? Since January?
It almost seemed that way.
Since first grade.
Since I teach them religion, I do have that block of time, so that works. So we started in January. We started in January.
Once or twice a week.
And what we would do, work with the gym teacher, and gym is important. The most important thing that we do in school is gym. So
absolutely.
What we did was,
dancing is gym.
Right. We would let them go. The boys and girls would have gym together, and then I could get all of them together because we have split gender class. So that's the way we worked it out.
That's
so
nice.
that we could all do it. But it was a great day. It really
when
was.
you said you did 2 performances, I was just curious, was it modified in any way, or was that simply just how you did? You know what I'm saying?
Like a little kid one?
Yes. No, it's not modified.
Okay,
No.
I was just curious.
No, it's the same.
Okay.
This is just that the space.
There you go.
We don't have enough space
Gotcha.
to put the entire school in that one space and have room for stage.
For stage and
all of
everything,
that.
right.
Ours was done right in our church.
Yeah.
Okay. That curtain idea, I've never heard anything like that.
That's
Isn't
really
it good?
Yes.
When I had visited Carolyn, she was showing the video of Jesus Christ,
Okay.
the made-for-movie,
Yeah.
the made-for-TV movie. Not Jesus Christ Superstar.
No.
It's
yeah.
the video.
Nazareth.
Jesus
Of Nazareth, yes.
Thank you. That's
Yes.
it. Yes, and she was showing that on the active board, and I said, "What are you doing?" She says, "Well, I'm showing this because then when the children see it, they can see their role."
Oh, that's
And I
It
thought,
gets
what
you
a
get into
good
character.
idea.
Good idea.
Yeah, to get them
Yeah.
into character.
No, Karen, which class did you choose for the living
Living stage.
Yeah.
It's always 8th grade.
Um,
It's kind of they look forward to it. They ask me, "Oh, are we going to do this?" 7th grade always asks, "Are we going to get to do this?" Of course. God willing, we will do it.
So Carolyn, it's always just the 8th grade. Do they have to participate?
Yes.
So everybody has a role?
Yes. Well, we have
Can someone
crowd.
just be the
You can
curtain?
be a crowd.
Well,
Can someone just be the curtain? Like
well,
offer to be the curtain?
in actuality, they're out there all the time. They're in front of the audience all the
Okay.
time, the entire class.
Okay.
The only thing that changes are the Jesuses,
Okay.
and we use the Bishop's Chapel. And the first Jesus sits there and waits, and the crowd moves in a way that he can enter
Isn't that
without
neat?
being seen, and he kind of stays in the back, and even with Mary, until it's time for her to appear on the scene, she's kind of just among the crowd, and our person that plays Pontius Pilate, he becomes one of the Israelites.
Okay.
Yeah, so he goes and changes, and so everybody's involved. Yeah, there's no.
So each one has their own script, or do you have a narrator telling you
No,
story?
well, I have a narrator. Yeah,
Okay, good.
I have 2 narrators, and they take turns reading
But
back and
then
forth.
they also read the character can read aloud as well.
No, the
or is it
character
all
doesn't.
narrated?
No,
They're all
the
quiet.
character is
Right.
they're
Like a
all
tableau
quiet.
or
They just have to
Okay.
be able to move and
Which
adjust.
is hard.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's hard,
Some of them
especially
are-
when you're changing clothes
Uh-huh.
and all your props are out and you're
It's
trying
true.
to work where nobody knows what's going on until they see it open up.